Hi, this is Kim from KK's Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to turn these into one of these pumpkins. So what you will need is the adhesive tile, any kind of a pumpkin, the paint colors of your choice. I'm going to do a bow on mine, so ribbon. I'm going to add some leaves, so whatever, if you want to add leaves or something to yours, and then a chippy brush, and then I always use one of these brushes to paint with. So I'm gonna get ready and show you how I do this. The first thing I'm gonna do is take off this leaf, and I just have like a razor blade to try to pull that up. And I'm also going to take off the little raffia. And then I'm just trying to get the rest of the glue off so it's even. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take this and flip it over. And then I'm going to put the pumpkin on. And it's very close to the edge, so you just have to kind of make it as close as possible to the edge. It might hang off a little bit. And then I take a Sharpie and just trace around the pumpkin. And then I'm going to cut out the trace lines, and I will be right back. The next thing I'm going to do is paint the pumpkin. And I just get a little bit of paint on it. I like these little spongy brushes so that you can kind of just tap it. I find that it helps the paint stick better. And this will take about 2 or 3 coats to paint the whole thing. You just go all the way around the edge, all the way through the middle. And I will be back after I finish painting. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do, oh, and I did forget to mention, I did just put a quick layer around the edge and just around the outside edge so that it wouldn't show when I put this on it. So this took 2 coats of paint. And then the next thing I'm going to do is peel off the sticky part that's on it. Which the sticky part, it's meant to be on the square piece, so it doesn't stay on all the way. So what I do, I'm going to take this and flip the pumpkin over on it and just kind of line it up. Make sure that it's lined up all the way around. And then just push it on. And then you'll be able to see that it's not completely stuck on the corners where we cut the sticky part off. So then I just take a little bit of hot glue and push that down on it. You just go around and see where it's not completely stuck. And just glue around the edge. Okay, and then the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little bit of brown, and you can use whatever color you want. I'm gonna just kind of distress this with a chippy brush. I just put dab a little bit on, take most of it off, and just kind of go back and forth. So this, I don't know if you can really see, it's just got a little bit of texture around the edge, or I mean just a little bit of brown to give it that texture. And then now I'm going to make my bow and figure out which leaves I'm going to use, and then I will be back in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I make my bows. I have the Bow Dabra, and I'm gonna make this fairly small because the pumpkin's not very big. So I just take part of my ribbon, push it down, flip it over, and then I usually, for these little ones, measure like 2.5 to 3 inches. So this one happens to be 3 inches. You push it through, you twist the ribbon again, bring it around, and do the same thing. And measure it to about the 3-inch mark, and then I don't use that anymore. And then I just kind of cut a little extra. And then I take the next color and do the same thing. Twist it. And then I make each loop just a little bit smaller than the one in front of it. Twist it. Bring it over. Again, just a little bit smaller than the one before. And then I'm going to take the third ribbon and do the exact same thing. Make it just a little bit smaller than the last one and twist it. The reason you twist it is so that the pretty side is up on the top. So the other two I didn't really have to twist, I just do it because it's a habit. And then usually I'll do another layer all the way up of each color, doing the exact same thing, but I think I'm gonna stop this time because it's kind of a small pumpkin. And then I just take I just have some twine. I'm gonna pull it tight. And then flip it over. Pull it tight again. I usually tie it 2 or 3 times on the back. And then I leave the string for now until I decide how I'm going to attach the bow. And then you just kind of separate it out. So a loop, and then that side, and then the next one, the loop on the bow will go on this side in that piece, and then the top one, you do the opposite. Oops, the opposite like that. Do the same thing for this side. So it'll be the opposite, like this one has the loop on that side. So the non-loop side comes over here. And then you do the same thing for the next layer, and then the top layer. And then what I do, I go back through and I just dovetail that side. Then you pull up that loop. And then I always try to make this one a little bit shorter than the last loop so that you can see everything. Then we've got the top loop. Back into the other side. Got the loop. And if you want a fuller bow, you can do more loops. Like I said, this one, because the pumpkin's smaller, I decided it probably doesn't need 6 layers of bow. And that's all for the bow. And now I'm going to figure out which leaves I'm using to go with the bow, and then I will be back to show you how I attach the bow and hot glue on the leaves. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do now is glue down my bow. So I'm going to just put some hot glue right there. Just push it down right in the middle. And I'm just going to hold it down until it's dry. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is, okay, so this is what it looks like with just the bow. So technically you could be done. It's cute with just the bow, but I'm gonna add a few leaves just to give it a little extra color. And all I'm gonna do is put some glue on the bottom of the leaf and just put it wherever I want it and hold it down till it dries. Do the same thing for this leaf. then I'm just gonna add just a little bit of green in it just to give it a little bit more color. So then I'm gonna do the same thing, just put a little bit of glue on the bottom. And then I'm just gonna tuck it underneath. And then hold that one down. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for this side. Just hold that down. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for this one. And then I'm going to do the same thing like I did over there and just add this little bit. See, I don't want that to lay in there. I'm going to actually cut that end down a little bit. And just add a little bit of glue on the bottom of that. And that is all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this video.